guys, welcome to my channel. This is Shari Flack with all these celeb gossip. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you don't miss none of this tea. Okay, today, since you asked, this is our scary time, spooky time, the first time. And my costume is Alexa Bliss from WWE. And she's on my this thing mirror. Sorry. So she's on my shirt. And if you haven't seen her, definitely watch her. She's like the best character on WWE. So now I'm going to tell you about I have so many scary stories. Like I was talking to my mom and we were going back and forth. She's like, "Oh, you should tell this one. No, she should tell this one. Oh, you should tell this one." But I promise you guys a celebrity scary time story. So that's what we're going to get into. So you see me looking at the side of because I'm getting all my notes down so I can remember, so I can tell you exactly because I'll go out of order and I'll be like, oh, but this happened and this happened. So we want to stay in order. So this story time is going to be about the time I was filming a big show at the time at a haunted stage theater. So let me paint the scene. This is New York City, Manhattan. So there's a lot of old buildings. So we all know like some theaters are haunted, some of the studios are haunted, but no one just doesn't talk about it. So this was one of them. And I was casted as a background actor on the show. And the show was about theater and actors actually auditioning and then actually when they get the role and how that all digests in New York City. So there was famous actors there, and the person is both of them. They were on a singing show that was very famous. I think it's still on there, but it's on a different network. But back then they made it, and they would be on like TRL, VH1, one be on BET. But yeah, so just remember that because it involves that. I get called to come in that day, and I said okay. And usually, when you get called, it's a early call time, and this call time was 8 o'clock. And for to be in acting, like if you do it a lot, actually this 8 o'clock call time is late, and this was my first gig as an adult actor. So I was casted as an audience member in the background. So I get there at 8, and you want to get there on time because time is money. And if you're not in there in time, because they have to register you, they have to make sure you're here. And you don't want to get there early because it's some good food. Like they do catering, and it's like the best food like ever. So you want to be there. So I get there, I do my registration, I do give them all my paperwork, do what I do. I have a number, and you go by this number all day. So they know where you are, so they know where you are online, all of that. So I go get food, I eat, I talk to a couple of people, which is always cool. You always meet cool people on the set. And we go by their day. I think I remember this. I actually talked to someone and they were like, "Oh, this date is haunted." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." They were like, "Yeah, it is." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." So I go on with a day and it's time to shoot scenes, and it's like a whole bunch of people. I would say like maybe 50 actors because there were empty seats in the back, and then each scene they had us move in each seat. So it looks like there's a lot of people in these seats. And it's so weird, right? Because no one was supposed to see any of the lead actors that day. So you have to be like, oh yeah, yeah, to it like an empty screen, and the director's up there and he's directing. He's like, hey, be positive, make sure, imagine such and such standing here singing to you, and yeah, and yeah. So it's like very awkward. if you haven't done it in a while. And at that time, I haven't done things like that since I was a kid, maybe like 12, 13, because I fell off and came back. I wanted to be a regular kid. And I was more doing like central roles. Like I wasn't the lead, but I was like principal role. I was there. So this was different for me to be just in the crowd. So anyway, anyway, so we were doing all of that. And then the director had told us that at any point, if we need to go to the bathroom, that just let someone know, like there's like a PA, or if you don't know, PA, it means production assistant. It's just assistant there to help you throughout the day, anything you need or things like that. So I was like, okay. And I took a long time to go to the bathroom. Like I had to go, girl. I had to go. I was waiting. I would see people leave and come back, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna go wait. I don't want to go where everybody's going." It looks like a whole big missing spot, because when you're filming, if there's like a big whole gap, it looks bad on camera, and you know that scene's going to get cut. So your whole agenda is to get on, when you're doing backgrounds, to get on camera, to get seen. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go. Not gonna go. So by the time I couldn't hold it anymore, so I tell the PA and I said, hey, can I go to the bathroom? He's like, yeah, sure. And no one else went. It was just me. So that was good. So I snuck out and I went. So I went to the bathroom, and it was like this long hall you had to go down. Like I actually got lost. I came back and he's like, no, you just go down and you go to the right and then down the stairs. And I said, okay. So I went down, and I don't know, I felt like really etched out and scared, and something like something in the back of my mind's like, So I went down though. I had to go pee, so I had to go. So I went down, and then I went down that long hallway, like seemed like forever. Then I turned right. First I peeked. Listen. I'm a New Yorker. I'm a peek around the corner like this. So first I peeked around the corner. It was fine. So then I went down the stairs, and it was like two flights of stairs, like and it goes down into the basement. It's not even like the first one. It's like basically the basement. And it looks like no one's been down there. And you see all the equipment and stuff like that. There was no one down there, strangely, because usually, like I worked on sets and I acted on sets. So usually people are down there with, like, no one was down there. And I should have known, because no one was down there. I should have known something was wrong. So I went down there, I went to the bathroom, did my thing, and all of a sudden I come out the stall and I hear like I hear like a funny noise, and then like boom. And I'm like, what? So I was like, hello? Hello? Nobody. Yo, I ran out that bathroom so fast it wasn't funny. Cause I remember the girl say, hey, it's haunted. I ran out that bathroom so fast. And before you said I washed my hands, all right? I washed my hands and then I left, okay? So I laughed. And I went back upstairs and I'm like all flustered and everything. I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, I hope my hair is right. I hope I don't look crazy, because I just heard this and I just basically ran back up the stairs. So I ran back up the stairs and they were filming the scene. So I didn't want to go just like jump back in the scene, and they were filming. So the PA was actually on the outside before you go into the aisle. There's like these two banister things like this. So before you go into the aisle to go back into your seat. And I was like right there. So I was talking to the PA and I was like, how's your day? Trying to be professional and everything. He was like, good. He was a nice guy. And I was like, how's your day? How's your day doing? He was like, it's been going well, but it's good. I'm just happy to be working. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So we were talking, and we were talking for a while because the scene was there and we were waiting. I was watching and they would talking again. And then all of a sudden you hear some girl like with a high pitched voice screaming, like, I'm not gonna work with her anymore. So I turn around because the PA looked like, I turn around and all of a sudden I see this garbage can flying and hits me. Like it hits me in my arm and my leg, and I was first the PA was shocked, and then first I was like, and then the defense mechanism, like, yo, let's square up. So I turned around and I was like this, and she sees me and she goes, and then when I realized it was her, I was like, and this is one of the lead actors, and I realized, and I was like, then I put my hands up. I'm like, really? She turned around and just jets down the hallway, not all the way to the left, out the doors. And I turned back around. I was so mad. Like I still mad today. Like I really wanna, but I can't. But like I turn around, right? Because I'm pissed. I lost out myself. Like I'm very hot all of a sudden, and I turn around and the PA is like, "Are you okay? I'm so sorry." And I was so mad. I was like, "Why you let her talk to you like that? And you should never let her talk about it." I was like, and she works in this business. Like seriously, she works in this business making all this money for what? To be rude? Like no one acts like that. But like think about it now, I'm like, it was haunting. It was a spirit. It went into her. Like she can't be that crazy. But I haven't heard anything like wonky or any stories like that. So if she ever sees this, I know she's gonna know it's her. And I just remember I went about the day and I did my job. I signed my paperwork so I could get paid, and I went home. And at the time, I was with one of my ex boyfriends. That he was wasted my time. That's another story time. But I was with him, and let's call him John, right? No, that's actually one of my ex boyfriends. And let's not call him John. Let's call him Danny. Okay. So I went home. Danny was like, "Oh, you could have made a lot of money. Da da da. You should have sold. You should have act like you were hurt." And I'm like, "Why would I do that?" It's like I'm not gonna look like I'm punked out and act like I'm hurt because I'm not. I don't lie. I was like, I was about to, but I didn't. So I should have known then why you was asking for money. But, like that's another story time. But anyway, but I went home. I didn't say anything, and I haven't. This is like my first time telling the people outside of my family because they all know I got hit by this garbage can by this girl, and she's really big now. She's married to this. I think he's a millionaire, billionaire. Like she's like all over the place. Like lately, she's been out there. So every time I see her on the tape, I'm like, "Girl, hit me with the garbage can." Mm. In that haunted theater. Mm. So, all right. Thank you for listening to my story time. It's my first story time, sticky story time. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like me and this content, make sure you subscribe to the button below and comment. Do you think the spirit was in her? Do you think I should have acted like I was hurt? And what the heck is that haunted bathroom about? Comment below. And when you comment and like and subscribe, you will be entered automatically in either way. And it's going to be like a lot of cool stuff you get. So do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Don't everybody like free? All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.